Hello and welcome to Meanwhile, back on the hobby farm. Hey, I haven't been doing as many videos as I want. I've been a busy boy. Today it is, I think, 23 degrees out. It's been snowing all week long. Couple inches here, couple inches there. I think we got 4 or 5 inches yesterday. Gonna get some more tomorrow. Winter came, we got spoiled. We were in the 50s 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we were in the 50s, had the windows open, was airing out the house. I was harvesting herbs from outside, peppers from outside, still in January rather. Sorry, January. But right now, what I'm doing is, this is a wood burning video. This right here, folks, see this? I believe they're 38 inches long. They are solid oak. And I'm trying to clear it off for you to see, but you can't see it. But it says HT, that's heat treated. These things are heavy. They're heat treated, not chemical treated. So basically what this is it's been kiln dried. There's no moisture in this. Even though they've been sitting outside underneath the top, I mean, they were stuck together, frozen, because it's been cold out. There's no chemicals, all heat treated. So when I have to cut these in half, they won't fit inside of what I call Grandma Fisher. She's the one I feed downstairs all winter long, better known as our Grandma Fisher wood stove. I love it. We'll go back in and show you that again in a minute. But anyway, we're gonna have you watch me cut some wood. Okay, well, I did put it on pause. I am done. It took me literally about 5 minutes to cut that wood. And that's the wood that I got. It's right there on the ground. That will be enough to last us till probably Monday night, Tuesday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the saw in right now, and a couple of questions I know people are going to ask. Ken, why don't you have the bag connected? Why are you letting it blow? I'm doing that because this is the entranceway to the shed. It gives the chickens, when they come out, I got a couple of chickens living in the, I call it the shed, it's the pallet pub. I got a couple of chickens living in there. So I'm gonna unplug this baby, lock it up, lock the blade up, bring it inside, and I'll bring you inside in a second. Okay, I am back. Okay, normally I cut all my wood at once. I've been busy, didn't have time, so I've been out here a couple days a week, spending 15 minutes between cutting, stacking, whatever. But I do have some more wood I got to cut on Monday. Then I have to order some more. It comes from a factory type setting where they actually put rolls of metal on them. Can't put them on regular pallets, they'll break. And I did lie, by the way. This is the solid oak one. I cut it in half. Fits perfectly. I could put about 7 of these in the stove. And if I were to just light them, and I do the reverse firing, I'll show you that in a second, the hot ashes will stay good for 26 to 32 hours. but I don't wait that long. I feed it twice a day, put in about 7 pieces of wood, and keeps the house at about 62 degrees, and that's what Mama Joanne and I like to do. We like to have the house a little on the cooler side. We have the thermostat, which is propane heat in here, set at 59. It hasn't been coming on very much because it's been maintaining about 62 in the house. And I did lie, so this is the solid oak one, okay? I do have heat-treated pine, and as you can see, it's a lot lighter in weight and color. Normally, you do not want to burn pine in your wood-burning stoves. It creates curacao, and then you end up having all those problems where it jams up your flute and all that, and you have fire issues. But this is also heat treated, so by having this heat treated, there's no moisture content in this. If you were to if you could, you'd have to drill a hole and do a moisture content. It would be very low. And I'm looking at this right now. It looks like there's a whole bunch of dead ants on this. But it's funny, we were doing that as Mama Joanne was on the other side of the fence handing me this wood to throw down here. There were live worms underneath the second, third layer of wood out there. It's amazing how they can survive in the wintertime like that. Well, I'm going to take you inside for a second and show you what we got going on over here inside the pallet pub. Hey, you got a phone call. Hello? Yes? Hello? Yes? Yes? Yes. My extended warranty's expired. Hey, thanks for letting me know. Oh, you're from India. Oh, that's a surprise. Well, thank you. I will make sure that I call you back. I got a 1971 Pinto. I think the warranty's expired. Okay, bad sense of humor there, folks. I know. Let me get out of this. So we're going to come in here, and we got 2 birds in here. The black one is Agnes, and the other one is Chick Ken. The history. Agnes, the black one, came from a friend's house. The other ones were picking on it. The back of her head was completely raw. She was on death's doorsteps. She was very close. I took her over here within 2 weeks. You could still tell there was a little rawness, but most of the feathers had grown back. She's doing perfectly well. She was being bullied by the other chickens, wouldn't leave the coop, and they would just peck at her all the time. And then the story behind this one here, Chick Ken, was named after Agnes's little boy. His name is Kenny. I asked him when he came over to my egg stand one day and he came to visit the chickens and the goats out front, I need a name. And he said, Chicken. So I named him Chick, C-I-C-H-I-C, and then dash Ken after him. Story with her is she had mites really bad late summer, early fall. Mites will kill a chicken if you don't catch it early enough. I barely caught it in time. Her white blood cell count was extremely low. She was skin and bones, and she was in rough shape. I nursed her back to health. Her only side effect she has right now is she's got some neurological damage. Now and then, she will walk and she will go and pivot in a circle and flutter. And then that lasts about 3 seconds, and then she walks and she's fine. She can do that 2-3 times a day, 10 times a day, maybe no times a day, it just depends. But they're living together, and the funny thing is, Agnes, who was being bullied and picked on, mothers her extremely well. If I pick up Chicken and walk around, Agnes is there following me. She wants to make sure her soulmate is with her. Normally don't put water and food inside of a chicken coop, especially in the winter. You don't want moisture build up, which can create frostbite and kill them. However, we are inside what's called the pallet pub, and it's kind of stored away for the winter. It's a mess. I have been feeding the cats here, but I'm not feeding them in here anymore. I really don't want them hanging out in here. But this bed here is accounted for by, we have a white and black stray cat that's been hanging around for 3 years, been hanging around all summer long, sleeping on a tree stump in the backyard. I just found out recently, I thought maybe it belonged to a neighbor up the street from us. We only talked to them about maybe 2 years. We can't even see their house. And he said, no, we were wondering whose cat that was. It seems like a nice cat, but very feral. If you see it a football fields away, it'll run away from you. You can't pick it up, whatever. So I do have a camera in here, and he or she comes in here every night and sleeps in this thing all night long. And then she leaves in the morning. Sometimes if I come out early enough and I open up the slider to the house to come in here, she hears it and she bolts it right out of here. Very, very feral. But so she sleeps here, but the other ones really aren't eating in here anymore. I've been feeding them all up front. We have 3 cats all fixed. Actually, we have 4 other cats. We got BK, Mama Cat, Thelma, Louise, and then we got that black and white stray cat. But anyway, hey, this is about wood burning. This isn't about chickens 101, right? So we're going to come back out here. Just keep the door open a little bit. Look at that, folks. Got 400 pounds of grapes from these grapevines. Look at them right now, huh? Those boxes are coming out. I tried the above ground. They're rotting even though you wrap them with plastic. So I'm going to phase those out. Now it's time to come in here and stack this wood. That doesn't take too long. And we're going to put this on pause for a second. All right. Hey, I'm not anal or nothing, but I just timed it, and it took me 2.5 minutes just to open up the sliding door and throw this wood that I just cut in here. So I'm going to stack some up here. Normally I stack it on a large wood shelf that's located behind the camera. I do that when I do it ahead of time like I usually normally do. And I usually stack it from floor to ceiling, but like I said, time has been of essentials, and there was a little bit of employment change this year, so I didn't have the funds to purchase all the wood that I wanted to. Hopefully I'll be able to purchase it in the next few weeks and stock it all up, and if I don't use it all this winter, I did start off burning this year from leftover wood from last year, which was really good. So we're going to stack it up like this. Then I have a couple of wood carriers. I'm going to load those up. We're going to add an extra one over here. And I think I got enough wood probably through Monday. No, probably Tuesday. It looks like I got more wood than I thought. It sure does beat using a chainsaw and cutting a tree down. I know it's good exercise, but you know what? Yours truly over here is not getting any younger. You know, I could blow a hip out at my age, you know what I'm saying? All right. We're gonna do another layer this way. And I know how much I'm gonna have, how long it'll last, because I stacked it up the same way just 3 days ago. No, I forget how many days ago, but anyway, I'm going to leave enough on the ground, on the floor, and then we're going to open up, we're going to show you old Fisher Granny. Haven't seen her in a while. That's a big one. I'm going to throw that one right there. And I think that's going to be enough for this. Now, we're going to move that camera around. Okay, we're getting closer to showing you, to visiting Grandma Fisher. But in the meantime, I bought this antique wood storage carrier canvas. And I throw the wood on here, it won't rip. It's cast iron. This is old, but I'll tell you, they just don't make stuff like that anymore. I think I paid about $6 for it at the Salvation Army outlet store. Best investment I have, because I can put about a day and a half worth of wood on this rack. I've got to sweep after the floor is messy from throwing the wood around. But this thing should be about a day and a half worth of wood. I do have the original one that we had, and I use that now and then. All right, there she is, the grand finale. Everybody's been waiting to see Granny Fisher, first time on video for 2025. See this pan here, folks? Sometimes I use it for ash. Sometimes I use it for making applesauce or chili. This comes from my mom's sub shop in Drake, Massachusetts from 1996. I took it when she sold it, the sub shop. Now, I got my $2 footstool here, and I'm going to sit here, and hey, Grandma Fisher, how you doing? I've been hyping you all up for today. Really don't need these screens on here, but you know what? You never can be too safe. I mean, I really don't need it at all, but I like it because it looks good. And sometimes when I'm down here working, if I want extra heat, I'll open up the doors and I will leave the screens open. So I don't know if you can see this or not. Let's move that over. Get over there. Come on. Hey, come on. Hurry up. You're cutting into my nap time. All right, so we'll put this open all the way. You know what? We're moving you over. Okay, so I'm over here and I can hear a voice talking. And I'm hearing voices in my head. But what it was is, I have a Ring camera. My old Ring camera is down here. Let me reposition this here. There we go. My old Ring camera, instead of throwing it away, I have it down here and I got it set on motion just in case I'm not home and I get a smoke buildup in here. It will set my camera off and it'll automatically ring into me on my cell phone and let me know, hey, you've got a problem with your chimneys. Never happened before, but you just never know. You can never be too careful. You know, you have to be prepared at all times. We saw with those wildfires in Los Angeles, there was no preparation. There was no water in the hydrants. There was no training. There was no funding. But that's the political aspects of it. You got to be prepared, folks. You can't see it. I'm not going to move the camera again, but on the side up here where my finger is, on each side, I put a piece of angle iron. Halfway from the back of that box, about this high up, I put another piece of angle iron going across from left to right, and I put 5 fire bricks on it. What that does is it creates what's called a baffle. What it is when I stuff the wood underneath it, in front of it, on the top over here, it burns. It burns gases. Those gases, without that baffle, go right up the chimney and they go outside. If you want to have your stove more efficient and you want to be able to burn longer and hotter, put a baffle in there. What happens is the smoke comes out, it regenerates and burns a second time. I know it's hard to explain the physics behind it, but I did a lot of research on it, and it reburns it, which gives you more additional heat with less wood. So anyway, so I've got that baffle, and I've got 5 fire blocks going over there, and what we're going to do is I found a big piece here. It wasn't quite 38 inches long. I don't know if it's going to fit or not. I'm going to squeeze it in there. That one's the top of the baffle. So we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of wood in there Let's see how good I was. Did I lie to you? Nope, there's 7 pieces right there. I did feed it this morning at about, I believe I was up at 6:30. And you saw there was still a little piece left, but those hot ashes in there, those embers, they'll stay good for up to 32 hours. So what we're going to do is we're going to close old Granny and refresh your memory. Now, the Fisher stoves were made in the 1970s by a gentleman Fisher out of, I believe, Vermont. He did not like his choices of buying stoves at the stores. This is pre-UL listing. Stoves now have UL listings. They have to burn so much because of the anti-pollution wackos out there that insisted that we not pollute our earth any more than what we should. They don't tell you about what volcanoes do. But anyway, so there's no UL plate on this whatsoever. Fortunately for me, my insurance company, we had an old stove in here before. We had a UL plate on it. It was just too small. The glass broke on it. I picked this up about 6 years ago for $425. It's a monster. It took 3 of us to move it. This thing is heavy. I love it. It's got the R. It was a pending patent at the time. He only had the business for about, I want to say 10 years. He sold it out. They no longer make them. If you come across a Fisher stove, I'm telling you folks, it's worth its weight in gold. I got this pot, this guy threw in this little pot. You're saying it's rusty, whatever. Yeah, it is, but you know what? You can just oil that up and it'll all be gone. I fill that up with water. Sometimes I put peppermint oil in there just for the aroma of it. There's a little brick. It did have a little nose on it. My sons made me that when they were in like 3rd grade. I still have it. Up there is a porcelain kettle that somebody gave me. I don't know who gave me that, but they gave me that. This right here is from Rosa Parks Circle in Grand Rapids. And so that's it. We're going to end this video and just to show you that this is Granny Smith. I put these bricks on here because I used to cook. I want to cook some chili on it again this year. I've just been busy. I put this up here so this water just doesn't boil up and evaporate right away. Same thing with that. I put some bricks on the bottom over there. But here is our back of our stove. We got our stove and it goes up to here. And this is a double insulated. And then on the outside is, double insulated stainless steel. And it's triple insulated on the outside. On my wall, normally all you need is there was what's called cement board behind this. What I did was up against the concrete. This is all concrete. Oh, on this side's concrete. Over there is drywall. But I removed all of the fire cement board. I put in 1 inch, 1 1/8 inch baffles, and I put them about every 3 feet all the way across. Then I put the cement board over it. Then I put the metal. That's overkill. You can just get away with just doing the metal. You can get away with just using the cement board. I have them both. You can never be too safe. How could you tell I was a firefighter in the U.S. Army Reserves, right? So by putting these baffles in here, right here is all hollow. They used to make houses like that years ago between the 2x4s when they would build houses. They would... it's called the balloon framing. Very dangerous on the old houses because you have a fire, it gives, flames go right up in there, the house is burned down. Not in this case. This thing, as hot as this stove gets, you can touch it. It'll always be about 110 maybe degrees, the hottest. And we're going to do that right now. Let's see what the temperature is. These are a must-to-have, folks. Infrared thermometer. So we're going to look right now. It's 78 degrees because the fire was down low. You do not want the stack to really get pushing 400 degrees. It's 136 because the fire is just starting. This one will never be. This one will always be 80, maybe 90 degrees. It doesn't get hot at all. But yeah, you don't want this, that thermometer right there doesn't work. You don't want that to get over 400 because it can actually disintegrate. Metal does burn. If this thing gets up to 500, 600 degrees for an extended period of time, it will collapse. It'll fold in and melt and you have a fire. And you don't need that. The outside, when this fire is really roaring, can get up to about 500 degrees over here, which is fine. Right now it's 231, and that was basically with just hot coals in there. That was with no fire going. The bottom will be lower, right over there. You see that? Can you see that? There you go. That's 238. But this will get up to about 400, 450. Over here will be a little bit cooler, 216. Right there's usually a hot spot, 238. And that's it. There's your Granny Fisher update. I got to get going. Now it's time for this guy to go upstairs and enjoy the warmth of this fire. And I will let you go. And here's some of my cast iron stuff there. Hey, that's it, folks. Have a good day. Hey, hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit it already. Hit the like button if you liked it. If you didn't like it, still hit the like button. Make an old man feel good, will you? Take care. Happy 2025.